Welcome to Entrepreneurial Entrails for some short stories on the guts and glories of being an entrepreneur.
Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason.
Hey there, it's Elizabeth coming back to you with Entrepreneurial Entrails, all about the guts, glory, and stories about being an entrepreneur. And if I haven't told you before, which I have, I am a middle-aged entrepreneur. That's kind of depressing, but exciting at the same time. And one of the biggest challenges around being an entrepreneur is finding a place to work. I'm definitely not one of those startups that has, 6 million in funding from venture capitalists who love me and want to see me in a fantastic place with beanbag chairs and nap rooms. I have a communications business, which means I can pretty much work from anywhere, but we usually fall into the default category of working from home. Recently shut down my business center, and one of the main reasons for shutting that down, for starting that in the first place, oopsie doodle, was to have a place to work. I like having an office. I am that old-fashioned office kind of person, and not so much because I like the traditional stuffy office. I actually don't, but I like a place to go and periodically talk to people. And I thought for the longest time that I didn't need to talk to people, that as much as I like people, I didn't need them around me. And it wasn't until I went from working from home to starting my business center to then coming back to working from home that I realized how much I missed people. And I had a team meeting on Friday with a group that I'm working with on a project called Spark the Change, which is all about changing the way organizations lead, providing opportunity for employee feedback and changing your HR and not rewarding crappy behavior and all kinds of fantastic stuff. So if you haven't heard about Spark the Change before, go and have a look, www.sparkthechange.com or .ca, one of the two, you'll find it. And it's not here to plug the event, but on Friday we went and had a team meeting at a place called ThinkSpot, which is up in Lowville. I live in Burlington, Ontario, and Lowville is like this little blink you miss it hamlet between Burlington and God's country. And Deborah Pickfield's created this fantastic place where you can go and have meetings and host small events and whatever, but it's just a fantastic place to work as a team. And part of my craptastic week last week, I finally realized, was my lack of people. And as much as I like to pretend I don't always need to be around the peeps, it's definitely becoming an issue. So I'm also at an age where, I'm sorry, but it's really not cool to work out of coffee shops. And I go around and I see people in suits and, conducting business meetings and interviews and all this majorly professional stuff in a freaking coffee shop. And I'm sorry, and that might be hip and cool somewhere, I don't know, and maybe I'm just a stick in the ass, but oh, somebody's texting me, yay. But it just doesn't look professional. It just doesn't work, and you're putting your business at risk as far as I'm concerned, and your reputation, and it's one of the reasons I started my business center in the first place. So I was feeling kind of stuck. I didn't know where to go, because do you go to the library? Because you can't really take phone calls at the library. And after my continuous rant for the past year and a half on not going to a coffee shop, it'd be kind of hypocritical to go, hey, coffee shops are now cool, but they're not. Don't do business there. Find an alternative. But a friend of mine suggested a really awesome idea. She also works from home. Thanks, Hazel. And she said, well, why don't we swap spaces once a week or twice a week? And, she's got an office. I have a nice dining room. Quite frankly, I'm in my basement, so I feel like I've gone back to, 1980 something, and I'm a basement dweller. But anyway, I don't play any kind of video games, so it is a professional space. So that's my action for this week. If you are an entrepreneur and you're working from home and you're finding that the working from home piece kind of sucks and you're not a fan of the coffee shops like I am, and I know there's tons of co-working space options in the area, but sometimes your budget just doesn't allow, and you still need to get yourself out there before you get trapped in the abyss of yuckiness of working from home. Find out if there's another entrepreneur in your circle who would be interested in either swapping space or sharing space in your home. Obviously, you need to be a pretty good friend, need to have Wi-Fi at home, and need to have a table not covered in crap, and be willing to share, tea and cookies and whatever. So that's my action item for this week for anybody. If you're feeling stuck, find a buddy, reach out to your network. Somebody might own a business and have an unused room that they'll let you use once a week. Barter some services to get some space. That's what I'm doing with ThinkSpot. I'm going to be up there once or twice a week soon, and in bartering for communication services. So anyway, that's it for this week. I hope you're having a great week, and if you're an entrepreneur like me, reach out and let me know what your solutions are for office space or getting out, and a professional alternative to coffee crumbs and expensive lattes. And I hope you have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.